Now, Kushida, he is a guy to me that I feel like, at least by fans, is kind of an unsung hero of New Japan. Really been kind of like the pillar of the junior heavyweight division for several years. I got to see him live at Ring of Honor a couple years ago, and you could just sense the feeling of respect from a lot of the hardcore fans knowing how good he is. It's reported that he's going to be going probably to NXT. We know that the ceiling isn't high usually on foreign talent if they don't fulfill the size requirements that Vince McMahon has. What do you think his prospects are in WWE?
I don't know, man. They don't have a good track record really of making maximum use of some incredibly talented people. So they're a great money making machine. They're a great place to go to get paid. But you look at the way Asuka's winning streak was ended, and it didn't really help anybody out. So as far as foreign talent going in there, I think they're going in just to say I wrestled in WWE and to make some money. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some of them when their contracts come due, coming back out and returning to New Japan if they still want to be creative on the same level as they were before they entered the big company.
Yeah, we certainly wish him the best. I mean, he's a great wrestler, and look, if he's in NXT, I think he'll do fine, and I think he'll definitely be featured prominently, kind of like Asuka was, kind of like Hideo Itami, a few other guys were. But main roster, that 205 Live Purgatory, that might be a different story.
Yeah, it's really strange to me that you've got a system here where, first of all, your developmental system is filled with a lot of your best workers, because to them, it's like making the statement that, well, you haven't been here, so your previous experience doesn't count for anything. But it really does. You look at the top stars of NXT over the last 5 years, how many of them were homegrown in the Performance Center? And how many of them had 10 or 15 years of experience before they showed up? So it's kind of weird that you're making a smaller paycheck and yet you're given more latitude and you're having better matches. And then when you go up to the main roster, there's just this history of people being badly booked and misused or lost in the shuffle. And it's like, okay, that's like the wasteland you go to get more money, but your wrestling career is going to falter.
And I think in the case of Kushida, God forbid he ends up on 205 Live. I mean, I feel like they'd be better off just dissolving that show and putting the cruiserweights on the main roster, like the main roster shows. And I don't know. I watch New Japan, and I feel like when you look at what they've done with Will Ospreay as of late, what they did with Finn Balor, what they did with Kenny Omega, I feel like WWE could learn a thing or two from pushing the junior heavyweights, featuring future stars, and then slowly graduating them up into the heavier ranks.
Yeah, well, you would think, but WWE has their own ideas, and it appears to me that they've always had a mandate of telling the fans what they want. We're going to tell you what you want, and we're going to cram it down your throat, and like it or not. And very, very infrequently will they actually acquiesce to fan demands. You see cases like Zack Ryder or even Daniel Bryan, where they fought it so hard, and it was just a combination of Bryan's unique charisma and connection with the crowd, along with timing of other things happening, that resulted in him managing to temporarily smash through the glass ceiling. But it's my understanding that they were going to feed him to Lesnar very quickly after winning the title anyway, if he hadn't been taken out by injuries. So it's it's a tough thing to see, because it's like doing less with more. TNA did that best before it was taken over by Scott D'Amore and Don Callis, and turned into Impact. But it's tough to see so much talent, metaphorically rotting on the vine and amidst the bad booking wasteland. So who knows? As Triple H's influence in the company increases, maybe that'll change. He's instituted a lot of new ideas and changes. So when there is no longer a 70-something-year-old man making every single decision in the company, maybe we'll see something like that, or more like that, come into place in WWE.
This is Fred Richani telling you why you should subscribe to the TSC YouTube channel. Do you like hard-hitting, in-depth interviews? WWE World Heavyweight Champion Mark Henry. Fred Richani of TSC News, standing alongside MMA legend Tito Ortiz. Do you like breaking news updates from the world of pro wrestling, MMA, boxing, NFL, and everything in between? Post-fight, Canelo Alvarez versus GGG, Gennady Golovkin. Do you like in-depth game and app reviews? TSC Gaming here to review EA Sports' NBA Live. Is WWE Network worth your $9.99? And do you like event coverage you won't find anywhere else? New York Comic Con, the jam-packed Jacob Javits Center, TSC News here at E3 in Los Angeles, California. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, keep it right here and subscribe to the TSC YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button. Don't forget to enable notifications. And until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the game.